Hey, Shalom, Yashar, Yashar, one of our but give no praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem, Kakudash. Double honor to the apostles of GMS and honor to brothers in the work in truth and sincerity. This one I'm gonna call we want things to become normal, right? Not go back to normal, but to become normal, right? Because the world that we had just come from, right, was a world of death, was a world filled with lying, right, it was a world filled with wickedness, right? And we want things to go to become normal, i.e., the normal written of in the scriptures, right? Because as you know, brothers have said, every older brothers, we hate this place. Starting the apostles on down, we hate this place, man, right? For the reasons that I listed before, right? So I'll start on this point, and then we'll see where the Spirit leads, right? So this is Genesis 9:1. It says, "The Most High blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth." Right, so the Most High is about being fruitful. Is about people having children, having families, right? Whereas the man that is in rulership of the earth at the moment is the complete opposite of that. He is a man that is all about death, right? So this is Habakkuk 2 verse 5, right? It says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by one, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home." Right? It's referring to Esau, the so-called white man. Right? It says he transgresseth by one. It's referring to philosophy. It says he is a proud man, who's more proud than the so-called white man. For instance, you had Governor Cuomo. Right? He says God didn't help us do this. We did. Right? That's what he said in reference to this coronavirus. Right? And the apostles been doing videos on how these Edomites really they ain't give Apostle Gabar told to give up the charade, right? Basically, stop lying to yourself, Esau. You ain't of the Most High, right? You don't care about the Most High. You don't desire the Most High, which is why he does, what he does, right? Which is why he pushes the agendas he pushes, because he doesn't, he has no regard for the Most High. Russ doesn't neither keep it at home. Further proof of who this is, who this is referring to. America has military bases literally all over the world, right? It says, "Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death," or it's Esau is as death, right? It says, "and cannot be satisfied," because death can't be satisfied. People can die and die and die and die. Right, it says, "But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people." Right, so these metropolis mega cities, right? You also get this Revelation 6:4. Right, it says, "And there went out another horse that was red," right, red representing Esau, "and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword." Right, so with that sword, Esau's been, going around, physical sword, going around and just killing everyone, right? And his economics, right? Where'd you go? You got that saying, economic hitman, right? Esau's going around saying, "Oh, this country here will give you aid," and that aid isn't, we think of aid, we think of genuinely helping someone, right? But when you look at aid is called tied aid, right? There's agreements that have to be agreed to, right? If you take aid from Esau, right? Which is why, another reason why we can't want to get out of here, because look, aid should just mean aid, right? It's, why are you always lying for, man? But we know why you're always lying, because that's your nature, says Psalm 58:3. "The wicked are estranged from their womb," right? They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, right? So that, Esau's a liar, right? Verse 4, right? It says, "Their poison," as you saw, their philosophies, right, "is the poison of a serpent. They're like the deaf adder that stoppeth their ear," right? "Which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely," right? So the philosophies of these of the so-called white man, right, are destructive, right? And they're gonna kill you. Might be a slow death, might be a quick death, right? For instance, the way he deals with food is completely against what the scriptures say to deal with food, right? So that's another reason we want things to go to become normal. Right? I'm trying not to say to go back to normal. No, we want things to become normal, right? Because the life that we're living in this world is not normal. I live in a flat, for instance, right? You got what do you call it? People to the left, people to the right, people up, people down, right? And I remember one night I was trying to go to bed, right? All I'm hearing is moaning coming from upstairs. I was like, oh shit. I was like, fuck. I didn't even know that the walls weren't insulated that much, right? So now I was thinking, oh shit. That means when I was doing my business, everyone could hear me doing my business, right? This ain't normal. This isn't living, right? And you get people that that are proud of in the shacks that they have, right? You might be having people out here that might have a 10-bedroom mansion. In comparison to what the Lord has in store for us, that's a shack, right? Go prepare. That wasn't even the easiest way of looking for that. So John 14:2 says, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you." Now this is almost like a dark saying. It's referring to these different planets, which is why Esau, whenever he goes up there measuring the heavens, right? He's basically trying to measure the earth, measure how long. What's the saying? But basically, when you read I'm gonna have to get it now. I'm gonna have to get it. How was it phrased? This is Jeremiah 31 and 35. Right at the top there, you see that's going into the New Testament, right? Jeremiah 31, right, and from 33, right. But it's verse 35 says, "Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from me, saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh. If heaven above can be measured," right? So that's what I was trying to quote, but I couldn't articulate it. Right, so basically that's why Esau's up in the heavens. He's trying to measure the heavens for this reason. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured and the foundation of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith Yahweh." Right, this is going into the fact that Esau, basically the Lord's being facetious here because he knows that this cannot be done, but Esau still tried. Right, he sent up his Hubble telescopes, all of these different instruments into the heavens, trying to measure, right, to try and get rid of the children of Israel, right? But that's why each time he goes up, he sees new things, right? Just like how whenever he goes down to the bottom of the ocean or whatever, or into the ocean, right, he sees new things all the damn time, right? So yeah, it says John 14:2 again, says, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you I go to prepare a place for you." Right? So many planets, many mansions, many planets in the kingdom of Israel. The planets will be inhabited, right? So we'll be living in those planets. I thought there was a precept here. It says Isaiah 40:22, "It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in." Right? Ooh, wrong button. Right? This is a precept for them flat earthers, man. Right? It says the tent, it says stretched out the heavens, right? It's referring to the universe. It says tent to dwell. It says the different planets that will be dwelt in, right? So we'll be, we are gonna be dwelling in those planets, right? Let's see what these precepts say. That's talking about the circle of the earth. That is, yeah, that as well, right? But that's so going back into the point that I was making. Right, these flats, you might have a mansion, you might even have an island, but that is nothing in comparison to the way that we're going to be living in the in the kingdom of Israel, right? But yeah, I'll read this again. It says Genesis 9:1. It says, "And the Most High blessed Noah and his son and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth." So we want things to go back in, to become normal, right? Again, right? Because once again, to reiterate this, the point of this lesson, what we're living in is not normal. For instance, right? Which I was on the socials, right? And then I was basically reading a thread where basically you had a whole, it started by, a J man. He was like, yeah, my mom had me when she was 39. Basically, go and do what you're doing, innit? Live life, innit? That's basically what he was saying, right? But then you look at the little things like how, which are, funnily enough, apparent, so, which I don't know whether it's true or not, but now they're apparently saying that all of the studies that said if you have children later in life, you're more likely to have issues, right? I don't see how they can even attempt to make that statement, right? But then again, these are the same people that we read about in Psalms 58:3. They're liars, right? That's all these people do, right? From the moment a woman child is born, a maid child is born, right? She's what do you call it? To the point, she's going through all her life. And basically, I'm skipping out the points of biology. I don't know, lest I, put in some false information. But basically, as a woman grows, her eggs are getting worse and worse and worse, right? And the chances of you having a healthy child in your old age, right, decreases dramatically, right? The chances of, a miscarriage increase, the chances of, what do you call it, of, having like a Down syndrome baby and all of that sort of stuff, that all increases, which ultimately that's all of the Lord, right? But what else does that do? If you're having your first child at like 39, you're more than likely only going to have one child or two children at most, right? But the Lord, he's all about being fruitful, being, a multiply, right? That's what the Lord was all about. But what Esau has pushed is this whole this whole feminism agenda and shit. Right? Oh yeah, go have a career, go enjoy life. Basically, it's all selfishness. Right? People look at children and rather it goes from Esau. Esau pushes this idea that children are a burden when that's just simply not true. Right? So Jeremiah 31:22 says, How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man. Right? Now, a woman has compassed a man. Women are now, despite what they'll tell you, they've got more power than the man. Right? Especially if it's an Israelite man. Right? Yeah, you're going to have the elites that are, that the elites, but, for the general man, right? The women has compassed man. Now men are getting on, on their knees begging a woman to marry them, right? A woman who's been, you don't know what she's done. I remember speaking to one Jake that I know in the world, right? He was basically telling me how one guy was parading his missus around, and then basically he found out that she was getting gangbanged at university, right? All of that sort of stuff. And worse yet, the guys that she used to get gang or train out, or train. I don't know if there's a difference between a train and a gangbang, right? But basically, she had trains ran on her, right? And then the guys that she had trains ran on her, she's still friends with them on Facebook, right? And he's all there posting pictures of her saying, "Oh, my baby, my queen," or whatever. I'm not saying he was saying that, but he would have been, based on saying, I haven't got proof he was saying that, as in I never saw that, right? But if you're posting her on social media, posting her to be like, hey, she's all right, look at my girlfriend, this, that, and the other, right? But these times she had trains ran on her, man. Right, but she, in this kingdom, Esau wants you to basically be getting down and bowing on one knee. So this isn't normal, right? And let me show you an example of what normal is, right? This is right. This is First Peter 3:6. Says even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, right? As long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement, right? So calling him Lord, right, as well. Right, and that's the thing. You look at the word woman, Right, which is why Paul will say, make statements like, you ain't got a woman. Because at the end of the day, woman means serve, and these women don't serve. Why? Because a woman shall compass a man. And they know this. Women know this. Women know that really and truly, deep down, they got the power. Imagine got children with a woman. She knows she can just fuck off with their children. She can just do whatever she wants. You do the same thing. Now it's kidnapping, it's this, it's that. Right? But this is normal. This is what we want. Right? This is what we look forward to. Right? In the kingdom, which is why we now making this step. We want things to become normal. Right? And what's another thing that is normalized here? Because once again, I started with this precept in Genesis 9, right? Which I'm basically using as the basis for this story. Right? So the Most High blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth. What is made commonplace in this kingdom, man? Sodomy, man. Right? It says, no, it's not what I want. So this is 2 Peter 2 and 6. It says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly. Right? So here it is, the Most High made an example of Sodom and Gomorrah. But what do we have? Right? We have this kingdom that we live in that promotes that shit, man. Right? That pushes it out. Right, it's Revelation 11 and 8 says, and their dead bodies, right, representing the children of Israel who are in a spiritually dead state. That's Proverbs 21 and 6 as a precept to that. Right, so shall lie in the street of the great city. Right, and that's Babylon, America. So which spiritually is called Sodom. Right, why? Because they push out that whole LGBTQ plus. Right now, what has Jake done? Jake has taken that and they've normalized it and they've taken that into the community. Right, that's why you get a whole load of black women being like, oh, I don't get why you black men are so transphobic. All of this bullshit. Right? Which, once again, that's a wicked play of the devil. Right? It says in Egypt, right, which is representing the bondage, right, that took place, right, in America and in Egypt. Right? It says, and also America has, for instance, a pyramid on the dollar bill, right, and certain different, Egyptian symbolism, right. It says, where also our Lord was crucified. Right now, our Lord wasn't crucified in America, nor was he crucified in ancient Egypt. Right, so what is this talking about? This is talking about the fact that image of Cesare Borgia has been really pushed out from that from America, from that nasty land, right? So that's another reason why we're saying, look, we want things to become normal, because we don't want that to be around all of that nastiness, man. Right, men who have chopped off their rods and shit, man. We don't want to be around that. This is Deuteronomy 23 and 1. It says, he that is wounded in the stones or hath his privy member cut off, right, shall not enter into the congregation of Yahweh. Right, when we don't want to be in a world where people are walking around, here it is. It's fucked. You look at a chick, right, and she might just be, what you call, a little bit, she might be a little bit tall or something like that. Right, you look at a chick, but she's little. No, I'm not saying a little bit tall. I'm trying to give an example. But she might have something that makes you go, oh shit, her shoulders a bit wide. Shit, it's because shit, is that a chick? Is that a man or is that a chick? Right? We don't want to be living in this world, man. Right? That ain't normal. It says Deuteronomy 22 and 5, right? It says, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination to Yahweh thy power, right? And that's another thing that we have. You've got cross dressers, right? If you're a tranny, then that's what you are anyway, right? And then we've got to accept that shit. No, we ain't gonna accept that shit, man. Right? Which is why we want things to become normal, right? Where things like this is outlawed. Because in the kingdom of Israel, man, it's gonna be all a kingdom of righteousness, right? None of this nasty wickedness, right? Another thing. Is it 10? Yeah. Ecclesiastes 10 and 7, right? It says, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth, right? So we're those princes and we're walking as servants upon the earth. We're serving a punishment. It is true, right? But what's another reason why we want things to go back to normal where the servants are walking as servants, right? Because right now the princes, right, they're a byword to all the people, right? And for the most part with good cause, right? Because a lot of Jake just have to be destroyed, right? That's why the what do you call? That's why the the scriptures say that some basically a lot of Jake go and die, man. Right, all the sinners of my people shall die. Right, then when you in reference to America says 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. And the Israelites in America, 2/3 of them are just going to be destroyed, right? Yeah, so we want things to get normal, right? It's because hey, we hate looking at our brothers in that lower state. You look at Jake, man, be degenerate, whether they might be high on drugs or strung out on drugs, right? Or just committing nastiness, wickedness, and you're like, man, you just want to help them, and the only way to help them is to put them to sleep, right? Like them Latin tribes, man. You look at some of the shit that they be doing, man. Look, man, some of them Latin tribes, like Mexico, they need they need help, right? And the only help that they can get is to be put down, man. As in not the tribes themselves, as in some of the them gangs, man. Right, MS-13 tattoos of gang tattoos all over your face and shit, man. Right, chopping Jake up, filleting Jake, cutting Jake open whilst that's them spirits, right? But we know that this is only for a particular period of time before the Lord normalizes things, makes things normal, right? And then Jake, they gonna wake up in the kingdom like, oh, Shell's doing that. That's why the scriptures say they gonna be some will wake up, to everlasting shame and contempt, roughly paraphrasing Daniel the 12th chapter, right? Which is for a period of time they're gonna have their head down, man, right? This is also Isaiah 24, and we'll start at 4. I'll start at 4 today, right? It says the earth mourneth and fadeth away, right? When I was watching what was this TV show? What was this called again? That Netflix documentary Rotten, right? And the first episode goes into bees, right? How bee numbers are just dropping, and the guy made a statement. I was like, yo, if farmers, right, cattle farmers came out and said 50% of cows have basically have died or not basically come this year, right? Not been born and or whatever, what have you. We've got basically if we have 50% less cows this year than we have last year, everyone's gonna be like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? But then he said, but that's exactly what's happening to bee populations. 50% basically less than last year, right? So that's part of the earth fading away. That ain't normal for animals to be just dying off like that, man. Right, animals choking from plastic. Right, it says the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Right, and this earth is defiled, man. Like the people are defiled. Right, here it is, they're all talking about, oh, you need to, Corona, we need to save lives, we need a vaccine. Nah, nigga. Excuse my French, you just need to eat healthy, man. Right, because what's one of the things that they keep saying? They keep telling you the kind of people that die, people that are unhealthy. right? The large majority of people that have died with comorbidities, i.e., another reason why they died. Maybe they had heart disease before, maybe they had, this, that, or the other, right? If these people are, genuinely done, then it's judgment of the Lord anyway, right? But then what are they going to do? He's going to use his forked tongue, his lies once again, right? To basically make it look like it's a Jake problem. And in the same breath also say that people who are poorer are more likely to die. Jake is poor, man. Jake is, I don't know if, these Edomites got the memo, but Jake is poor. That's why a whole load of them, go around stealing shit, man. Right? It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof because they have transgressed the laws, right? Changed the ordinances and broken the everlasting covenant, right? They don't honor the land Sabbath, man. Right? We want to go back to normal, to when the scriptures say, that's going to be a difficult one for me to find. It's going to be a difficult one for me to find. It's not there. Problem is, I don't even. Ooh, is it? Yeah, I don't even. I genuinely don't even know where to even start looking for it. Great. I believe it should be around like here. Nah, I can't find it. But basically, when you read the scriptures basically speak about how a cluster of grapes, used to take two men, right? Two men to carry the grapes, right? Like I said, I've completely forgotten how it's phrased or where it is. So yeah, if you know where it is, brothers can just post that in the comment board. Right, but for instance, we want to go back to that, right, where the earth is yielding us, just because at the moment the earth is not yielding its strength, right? And I wanted to get into one more thing, which I forgot. I forgot what I wanted to get into. Well, at the moment, look, man, we're in a world filled with lies, and we don't want to. We want to be in a world, where I can get that as well, right? Of truth, right? Right now, you got to question every last bit of information that you read, right? It says, 2 Ezra 6:28. I'll start up actually. I'll start from verse 26, 6:27. It says, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched, right? This world is full of deceit, man. But that ain't normal for you to buy something and be questioning. For instance, once again, on this whole thing of honey, where you have these Moabites are putting in some, fake rice syrup, to top up the honey, right? And all of that. You want to be able, when you're buying stuff, to know, yeah, this is honey, 100% pure. Not have that doubt in your mind, right? But this man, so the scripture says in Sirach, the 10th chapter, which I'll close with, right? About how, as a ruler of the city, Esau are the people that are therein. Right? Esau is a lie. We read that in Psalms 58. So how do you think these other heathens behave? Their lies too, right? That's what they're all about, right? It says, as for faith, it shall flourish, right? Corruption shall be overcome, right? And truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared, right? So that's what we want to become normalized again, truth, right? Honesty, right? Not having to, dig in, to a raw data just to make sure that claims are valid, man. Right? You look at this man, each time he says something, you got to dig into the raw data. If you get a stat from Esau, right, you got to dig into that raw data, man, assuming he's even collected it correctly, right? Because this man likes to lie on shit, man, right? So hey, we can't believe anything this man says, man. And I'm gonna end with Sirach 10:4, right, straight to the point. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he'll set over it one that is profitable. Right? And that's the children of Israel, right? That's when things will become normal again. Right? Esau and his people, they think that things are going to become normal. They're going to be able to, take, plane, journeys to different places, enjoy themselves for a week or two, then come back to their office job, then go back to their apartment or whatever. Right? That ain't fucking normal. Right? Sleep with like 10 random different women, just leave them or whatever. Right? And then them women will all sleep with 10 and random guys. That ain't normal, right? Things will get normal when this kingdom is destroyed and the kingdom of Israel is raised up, right? And then what you call these heathens? They're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. That's why it says in Isaiah 2 what it says, right? They will be coming up to the mountain of Israel, right, to understand. You be like, yo, let us learn of his ways. Yeah, they're gonna be in servitude, right, for 1,000 years for the wickedness and the evil that they did to the children of Israel, right? But after that period, when they're paying tribute to the children of Israel, they're gonna be all right? But I feel like I've spoken enough. So as always, Lord, what I was edifying. So the next time, Shalom.